we've ever had. I really meant that. They just never varied from their routine on a daily basis, and they were very organized, and they knew what they were doing. And, we got hit by injuries, so did other teams, and we lost some key guys in the rotation, Medlin and JJ, and we lost Billy at the end out of the bullpen, and Saito down the stretch also. But, and then Prado and Chipper Jones. And we lost some hitting, and probably if anything hurt us most, it was going down the stretch and Prado being out.
Bobby, as the superstition goes, whatever you do your first day of retirement is what you're going to do the rest of your retirement. What did you do?
The very first day, the last people that were staying with us left at 12 o'clock, flew back to New York. And I came down to the ballpark and got a text from my wife. It's been real busy in the Cox household, at home and on the road. We had a lot of our kids, grandkids, at all those games, and a ton of friends as well. And I got a text from her yesterday about 1:30. I had come down here, and she said, we have the house to ourselves. That was kind of neat, relaxing last night, watching the Rays and the Rangers play. So it was a quiet evening, and it still doesn't feel like that's it for some reason. The playoffs in the World Series, when you're in them, even when you win, it feels empty the next day that you don't have a ball game. Your routine's been broken, and there's nothing to do. Really. There's nothing better than a baseball game.
What would you like to be remembered for?
I think just treating people properly. I've been asked that a million times, and I haven't come up with anything other than that. That I treated people fairly, players fairly, and people in general on a fair basis. And all you've got is your family and your friends at the end. So I've made a lot of friends. Hopefully. Unfortunately, I won't see a bunch of them.
Bobby, when you got asked to manage for the first time,
I had the job. He was going to talk to a few more people, but it was just sort of eyewash. And I met Ted the next day. He took me up on a little mountain around here somewhere where he had a little trailer house and a satellite, which was TBS, one-man operation up there. And I was impressed with Ted. Of course, I knew Bill Lucas from the minor league days when he was farm director with the Braves, and I was a player at Richmond. And what I wanted to do, I was gung-ho, just like I was in the minor leagues with all my players. I thought they were all big leaguers and tried to make them big leaguers. And my goal was to win right away. It was pretty darn hard. We did not have a real good team. And it took a few years to build it, and it became very successful.
Bobby, for someone who's not very comfortable talking about yourself, how uncomfortable has this whole experience been the last couple of weeks for you?
A little bit, but I've grown used to it. All the cities, in the league were, very generous, very nice to me. Little gifts here and there, and they're all very important to me. And it ended up kind of fun, to be honest with you. I didn't think it'd be that way, a little embarrassing, because the other team's sitting over there and their manager, and here I am getting a box of cigars or a cowboy hat or something, And but it was neat, and it was humbling, and the one that will stand out forever was the one in Wrigley Field with Lou Piniella. He had announced his retirement that morning, Sunday morning, and they were going to give me one of the sixes off the scoreboard. And Lou wanted to go to home plate that day, and that was very emotional. And, standing ovation, which was really great.
What was it like taking off the uni for the last time? Did you do it slow or fast?
Had it on for a long time after that game, so I wore it for a while. It came off just like it normally does, you know, stacked in a pile against my door where I threw it.
Bobby, were you surprised by how emotional you were at the end?
Well, I've been that way before at the end of the season. Not just because of the retirement, just, you know, we lost a real tough ball game. We lost the series, which was well fought. And, you know, when I said I'll miss you guys, that's just kind of tough.
How special was it just to sit down and talk with those guys after the game? You know, after the media cleared out?
Yeah, I was in my office with some friends and my youngest daughter, Skyla, and my wife, Pam, and somebody came in and said, the players want you out there. And they made me sit down around the couches. We just, as they say, shot the bull for a little while, and it was pretty entertaining. It's too bad that didn't get to be on camera. There were some funny things said there. It was great.
Bobby, what are the lasting memories of the World Championship, the team, the season?
The last memories, you know, it's, as I said before, you know, it's passed very quickly, and there's not one season that I didn't enjoy. You know, there are rewards when you don't win. You know, you work hard as a coach, our coaches, and as a manager, and the rewards are watching guys improve that you've worked with. So everything stands out in my mind. It's just, you know, I've been lucky. I've been in great situations everywhere I've been. I've always had good ball players, and you know, I've been in good situations.
Bobby, how much are you going to miss just the daily showing up at noon on the road, at home, sitting around talking to the guys, the reporters, everybody, you know, the coaching manager, all that? And what are you going to do to kind of fill that void?
I haven't figured that out yet, Dave, honestly. I thought about that, too. And I can only drink so much coffee before 11:30 in the morning. I always make two stops now when I come to the ballpark. I make one about 8:30 in the morning with my dog. And then when I leave around 11:15, I make another one on the way to the ballpark. So, you know, 3 cups, I might stretch it to 3 cups, but after that, I don't know. I'm going to miss that. I really am going to miss that part of it. You know, sitting around with everybody is fun. And the writers every day in the radar room down there, you know, we have fun. And it's fun to walk through those doors. And that's the way I've tried to make it. I've tried to create an environment for our players where they really are interested in coming to the ballpark and they can't wait to get there. And I think everybody should run their business the same way. You know, have your workers want to get to the ballpark.
Bobby, who was your MVP this season?
I would say Prado, probably. Unfortunately, he went down, but he was really played great defense all year. He hit from day one. And we have a lot of them. I mean, not just one. Those kids out of the bullpen did a great job. Venters, Kimbrell, Dunn did a good job when he was up too. You know, saying now, he had, I think, maybe the best year he's ever had. But it's hard to pick one, but Prado would stand out real quick.
Well, just following up on that, it sounds like you could move right into the Pat Riley kind of motivational speaking thing for the corporation.
No, I don't know. Really, I don't know. I just can't figure it out yet. What my daily routine. I do want to play a lot more golf and practice. I would like to be able to shoot in the low 80s, high 70s maybe. I don't know if I can do that at my age, but that's my ambition right now.
Bobby, you talked about every day, now that you come into the clubhouse here, those of us who get to go to training camp every February, you know how much you look forward to that, coming out and greeting us in the morning and getting on the golf cart, going out and having the pictures. When February comes around, where do you hope to be? What do you hope to be doing?
Well, I am going to come to camp a little bit, and it's one of the most enjoyable times that players and coaches and managers have. You can, the first workouts are great. There's no games for 2 weeks, and you're getting to play maybe nine holes of golf after the workouts. Once the games start, it's over. But you do have a chance to have dinner every night with your family, and it's the only times during the course of the season. The next 6 months are tough. The only time you really get to go out to dinner is on the road if you have a day game. So, but I'll be in spring. If I had to miss that, I would worry about myself if I had to miss spring training. I'll be down there some. It just depends on how much the manager wants me around and Frank and the guys, and how I can help.
Yeah, Mark, just kind of following up a little bit. I won't ask you to write your own legacy or anything, but what kind of imprint do you think you might leave here for the future?
I don't know if I have an imprint. I think the Braves organization, the team itself, through the years has established itself as a whole in Major League Baseball as a high-end organization that the city can be proud of the way it's run. And we want to maintain that for sure. I think a lot of organizations have patterned themselves after the Braves organization the last 20 years or so, the way we build things here.
Bobby, can you talk about your new role and what you're looking forward to with what you'll do next year for the Braves?
Been talking to Frank as much as I wanted to, and I really don't want to be too scheduled. I've been that way, for a long time, half a century. So, but I do know I can help in certain ways, and if asked, I can scratch my brain and give them a decent answer.
Bobby, you mentioned a couple of times how fast it went. I don't know if you've ever written anything down about a season or recapped it. If somebody says, I want to do a book, would you look forward to maybe kind of racking your brain and maybe getting together with people that
Well,
you
there's all kinds of book offers out there right now, and I've always said I'd probably never write one. I'm kind of like Pete Sheehy, the old clubhouse guy with the New York Yankees that was on the bench when Babe Ruth hit his 60th. He and I became great friends when I played for the Yankees, and I always asked him if he was going to write a book, because anybody was ever going to write one, I would go to this guy. And he said, Bobby, it's going to the grave. So mine's going to go there too, probably.
Bobby, you bring up BT and the Yankees and some of the great names that you were associated with when you first got there. Would you have ever thought as a kid growing up in California in a farm town that you mentioned that your name would be on that same level as someone like Miller Huggins or some of the other great managers, John McGraw?
Of course not. It was day to day, month to month, year to year, all through my career. Not knowing if you're going to have a job the following year as a minor league player, and then as a minor league manager, big league manager, you never know. So, again, I've been in the right place at the right time. I did give everything I had during those days, believe me. Probably a little too much, but now you never imagine anything like that. And the wins that have been built up, 2,500. It's something, honestly, I never lose ball games in those cities. You don't have a good year, they'll run you right out of town if you let them. But the environment around here, you couldn't ask for anything better for a manager or a football coach or anybody else. It's a great environment with the newspapers, the media, all of that. Just really good people. And, you play in those cities, everybody's fighting for the dirt, the bad stuff, and here it's not that way. So I've enjoyed it here, believe me. I've had it easy. Thank you.